Hey guys, Terry here. I wanted to show you the setup that I have on my desk here. What I was going for is I wanted to have an area that was really inspiring for making cards. And I kind of wanted to have everything at reach. So I have this set up. I have the blinds closed right now, but it's a beautiful sight of sunshine out in Ohio. So I love that it's right by a window. And I have my inks and tools on this side. I decided to put this tall stand that was up on top of my desk in the drawer. So I've got my inks and then my embossing powders. And then I have my embossing, my heat tool right here in with my tools. And then I've got my inks close at hand. These inks are just stacked on top of each other, and there's actually just a piece of cardboard in there so that they lean and I can see all the colors. And then in this drawer I keep my like my Misty and my small these little guys. I have them out right now because I'm going to show you a card, but these things are normally right in that drawer. So they're nice and handy. And then over here, it's not far of a reach to the trash can and the glues and adhesives. Up in here, I've got some photos. I'm going to scrapbook. I've got some new stamp sets, and then my Nina paper for the different weights. So let's use this setup and make a card. Let me put you in the holder here. Okay, so I was making some cards last night with this new stamp set from Close to My Heart. It's called Let's Stay Home. I don't know how they crafted this so quickly, but it's a really cute set. It says let's stay home, be grateful, be kind, be calm, and other just fun things. I'll have a link on the website to their video where they show all the different ideas for using this in planners and pocket life and scrapbooking pages and on cards. Just really a cute set. So let's make a card. I have a little tray here of small dies that I use for card making. This was an old set. I think flowers came in it, but I just have various different size dies that are good for card size. I've got ovals and circles and squares, and it's just nice not to have to go digging through my dies for all the ones that are kind of nicely sized for cards. So I will go cut this on my die cutting machine. Be right back. I have a Sizzix Big Shot, but any die cutting machine works. And I thought that I would use my Misty to stamp one of these. Let's do the Let's Stay Home. I will place this on here. Use my magnets to hold the paper in place. When your stamp is new, it's really sticky and it's going to want to pick up that paper. So I just want to keep the paper in place. And then I've got my inks right here beside me. I'm going to do this in black. Also, the first time you use your stamps, a solid stamp like this might get some spots on it. The first time I did it, I just used a Sharpie to fill in the spots that I missed, but like that, this might be due to the magnets. So we'll just add a little bit more ink. It looks like I inked it okay, I just didn't push it down hard enough, so hopefully it stayed in place. Normally I push the paper down into the corner, but I'm hoping the magnets kept it in place. It's still missing that S. I think I'm not pushing. There, that's better. Let's do one more coat. The Y is not. The Y and the bottom of the home. This is why we use the MISTI, so that we're able to put another coat on. There, that looks pretty good. So I will wash that off with my, what's this little go? Oh, Stamp Chamois. Wipe that off. If I was going to make a few of these, I would wait to wipe that off. Set that aside. So another thing that I've done is cut paper to a standard size. So I have 8.5 by 11 paper. I cut it in half, and then I used my little score pal from We Are Memory Keepers. So I scored this in half, which is 5.5, and then you can either use the card this direction, or you can use it this direction. So since my, this would fit either way, but I think I'll put it on this direction. And set that aside. And then what I like to do next, so what I have up here is, I've got some embossing folders, so I remember to use those. I've got some new stamps, and then I've got little scraps of paper over here. So let me just pick one of these. And these were 12 by 12 sheets. So I just cut them into 6 pieces, 4 by 6. And then they're a nice size to go on any size card. Come back down here. And what I normally do is make a little tick mark here on where I want, or knowing that this is 5.5, I know that this is going to get cut at 5.25. But sometimes I just put a tick mark on there. So let me trim that down. Five and a quarter. And then I'm just going to glue that in place. I think this is the quick way to make a card. If you've got some pattern paper that you like, and then have some type of saying on a label, you're really just putting it on some pretty paper. The piece that I trimmed off of this could also be used as the little sentiment strip. I like to use liquid glue, so I've got a minute to kind of scoot this around, and then just to help it dry in place, I've been using my little Let's Make Art. This is more for, I think it was made for stencils, but I've been using it to kind of hold stuff in place while it glues. And then I think I'll put this up with pop dots. So let me put these on the back. Just put some on each side here. Using my scraps. Doesn't have to be fancy, it's on the back. Making it popped up just adds a little dimension to it. Put this on here, and then really it can go anywhere. I think I'll put it down here. And then here's what I said about the Sharpie. I did not take my time with the ink, so it needs a little touch up here. If I had taken my time with the Misty, I wouldn't have to do this. And then you can also stamp the inside. So here's some that I made last night. This paper's from Stampin' Up. It's the Posy. And then this, I don't know if this was Echo Park, I forget whose this was. One of the stamps says, "Keep going, you have been trained for this." So, I just think these are nice to pop in the mail, send to friends and family. Let them know you're thinking of them. So hopefully my setup here shows you how you could have just a nice little card making station so that you can pop out some cards and have fun. Thanks guys. Subscribe so we can stay in touch.